The life of Konohamaru Sarutobi from Naruto. Konohamaru Sarutobi is a shinobi of Konohagakure's Sarutobi clan. After later becoming a jōnin, he becomes the leader of his own genin team. He strives one day to become Hokage after his idol, Naruto Uzumaki. Welcome to the Amagi. In today's video, we're going over the life of Konohamaru Sarutobi. Before we begin, we publish a new video every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. The Amagi's reach stretches beyond just this channel, so if you're a fan of us, please consider subscribing to our other channels and following us on all of our social media. Help us reach our goal of passing 100,000 followers on all of our accounts by the end of the year. And with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Background. Konohamaru was born into the Sarutobi clan and was named after Konoha by his grandfather. While being raised by his Anbu parents, Konohamaru was never referred to by his name by the villagers, only ever called Honorable Grandson because of his relationship to the Hokage. Waiting to be acknowledged as a person and not simply the Hokage's grandson, Konohamaru started trying to defeat Hiruzen in order to replace him as Hokage. Prologue. Land of Waves. Konohamaru barges into his grandfather, the third Hokage's office, intent on finally defeating him and thus replacing him as Hokage. He immediately trips upon entering and assumes that Naruto, the only other person in the room, is responsible. Having heard that his grandfather was previously defeated by Naruto's sexy technique, Konohamaru approaches Naruto for training. Naruto agrees and they become friends during their time together. Concerned about Naruto's negative influence, Konohamaru's tutor, Ebisu, tries to separate them, a goal he becomes more adamant about when Konohamaru tries to use the sexy technique on him. When this doesn't work, Naruto defeats Ebisu with his harem technique. Deeply impressed by Naruto's words and actions, Konohamaru decides to start emulating Naruto in the hopes that he will one day surpass him. Sometime after this, Konohamaru realizes that there's no shortcut to being Hokage, and trained with tremendous dedication. Chūnin Exams. Konohamaru and his friends Udon and Moegi approach Naruto as he's returning from a mission. Although he previously promised to play ninja with them, Naruto tries to get out of it by claiming he needs to train. Naruto's teammate Sakura Haruno overhears this and asks what playing ninja entails. Not knowing who she is, Konohamaru assumes she's Naruto's girlfriend, which Naruto doesn't deny. Sakura punches Naruto out of disgust, and when Konohamaru, Udon, and Moegi call her names for attacking him, she attacks them as well. While running for safety, they collide with Kankuro and Tamari, Tsunagakure shinobi. Kankuro tries to beat up Konohamaru out of annoyance, but he's saved by Sasuke Uchiha. Konohamaru is afterwards disappointed by Naruto, especially in comparison to Sasuke and the Tsunanin. Sometime later, Iruka Umino takes Konohamaru's academy class to the Hokage Rock for a history lesson about the role of Hokage. Third Hokage happens across them during their lesson and tells them how important it is to protect those close to them. When asked who is precious to him, the third singles out Konohamaru and the rest of Konoha's citizens, making Konohamaru smile. Konoha Crush. Konohamaru and his class are evacuated to the Hokage Rock during the invasion of Konoha. When the third Hokage's likeness on the Hokage Rock suddenly cracks, Konohamaru worries about his grandfather. Several days after the invasion, Konohamaru attends the third's funeral, where he's comforted by Iruka. Search for Tsunade. In the anime, Konohamaru is very upset by his grandfather's death, so much so that he's unwilling to play with Naruto. When he learns that Tsunade is going to become the next Hokage, Konohamaru feared that she was unworthy of the title, and that her presence would cause everyone to forget all about the third's contributions to Konoha. He tries barring access to the Hokage's office, but she uses her considerable strength to get in anyways. This, coupled with her medical knowledge and her will of fire, convinces Konohamaru that she is worthy of succeeding his grandfather. Academy Student-Led Mission. In the anime, Naruto leads Konohamaru, Udon, and Moegi on a survival exercise. Naruto's leadership and navigational skills are very lacking and they become lost, forcing Iruka to come find them. In Naruto's footsteps, the friends' paths. 2 years after Naruto leaves Konoha to train, Konoha prepares for another Chūnin exam. Because Naruto is away and thus won't be able to compete, Konohamaru tries to enter on his behalf, disguising himself as a taller Naruto so that he can take the exams, pass, and then Naruto will be a Chūnin when he returns to the village. He's discovered before he even has a chance to enter by Neji Hyuga. Although he understands Konohamaru's reasons, Neji insists that he shouldn't worry since Naruto will come back when he's ready. Konohamaru returns to his academy class, eager for Naruto's return. Kazekage Rescue Mission. After a 2.5-year absence, Naruto returns to Konoha. Konohamaru is among the first people to greet him and demonstrates a more voluptuous, sexy technique. Naruto is unimpressed, claiming to have created even more perverted techniques while he's been gone. Konohamaru, now a genin under Ebisu's leadership, starts to be sent on their first missions. In the anime, these missions are oddly reminiscent of Naruto's early missions, including finding the same runaway cat. 12 Guardian Ninja. In the anime, Team Ebisu is assigned their first A-rank mission to escort Konoha's villagers to safety during an attack by Furido's 4-man team. Akatsuki Suppression Mission. Konohamaru attends his uncle Asuma Sarutobi's funeral. Three Tails Appearance. In the anime, Konohamaru watches as Naruto practice cooperation ninjutsu with Gamatotsu and Gamakichi. Itachi Pursuit Mission. Konohamaru and a shadow clone wait for Naruto outside of Ramen Ichiraku. Once he emerges, the two Konohamarus use sexy, girl-on-girl technique. Naruto approves, but Sakura Haruno is disgusted and violently reprimands him. In the anime, it is Moegi instead of Sakura. In the manga, Konohamaru responds with sexy boy-on-boy technique. Sakura approves, but Naruto is disgusted and violently reprimands him. Sakura tries to make an excuse when she realizes how she reacted, but Konohamaru's suspicions that Sakura is just as much of a pervert as he is are confirmed. Pain's Assault. During Pain's assault, Konohamaru stumbles across Pain's Naraka path, interrogating villagers about Naruto's whereabouts. Konohamaru tries to get away unnoticed, but he accidentally makes a sound. Ebisu confronts the Naraka path so that Konohamaru can escape. He is quickly defeated but refuses to give up Naruto's location. Before the Naraka path can kill him, Konohamaru attacks it, having decided that running away isn't something that Naruto would do, and therefore neither will he. He sends a shadow clone to engage the Naraka path and keep it distracted while he and another shadow clone attack from behind with a Rasengan. The Naraka path ultimately retreats and the village is shortly afterwards destroyed by Pain. Despite this, Naruto returns to Konoha and defeats Pain. Konohamaru joins the rest of the village in celebrating the victory. Past Arc, the Locus of Konoha. In the anime, Konohamaru, Udon, and Moegi do a report about Naruto and ask Neji Hyuga about Naruto's accomplishments over the years. They also listen as Neji details a mission he went on during the Konoha Crush. 5 Kage Summit. Konohamaru meets Naruto in the forest to compare their sexy techniques, a contest to which Konohamaru admits defeat. This, however, was only a ploy to lure out the root members following Naruto so that Kakashi Hatake could neutralize them. Before leaving for the 5 Kage Summit, Naruto congratulates Konohamaru for his performance against the Naraka path. In the anime, Konohamaru and Moegi later work on a Konoha Hero newspaper. He approaches Naruto for an interview when he returns from the Kage Summit. Naruto declines, and Konohamaru can't help but notice that there's something different about him. Chūnin Exam on Fire, Naruto vs Konohamaru. Konohamaru and his team compete in the Chūnin Exams located in Tsunagakure, where he eventually reaches the tournament round of the exams. There, he's matched up against Naruto. As Konohamaru surprises Naruto with his improved skill, Naruto decides to use his Senjutsu. This, however, causes Naruto to be disqualified, who was unaware of the rule against it. By the end of the exams, Konohamaru earns Chūnin status, puts on his new flak jacket, and gloats that Naruto is now his subordinate. Paradise Life on a Boat. In the anime, Konohamaru tries to join the allied shinobi forces so that he can help during the 4th Shinobi World War. When the 5th Hokage refuses to let him, he tries to prove himself by defeating Temari in a fight. After he suffers repeated defeats, Konohamaru attacks her with the Rasengan as a last resort, but is stopped by Shikamaru Nara, who was alerted by Udon and Moegi. 4th Shinobi World War, Confrontation. In the anime, Konohamaru attends a council of Konoha's remaining security forces that is convened by Ebisu. After the meeting, Konohamaru gathers the village's genin and tries organizing them for the challenges they may face. As a group of sumo wrestlers attack the village, Konohamaru assists the allied mother's force with driving them away. Kaguya Ōtsutsuki strikes. After the Infinite Tsukiyomi was cast, he, along with everyone within Konoha, was captured by the Ten Tails Roots. Ultimately, Konohamaru and the rest of the world were freed from the Genjutsu by Naruto and Sasuke after they ended the war. The last, Naruto the movie. 2 years after the end of the 4th Shinobi World War, Konohamaru goes through his grandfather's belongings. While doing so, he finds a scarf knitted by Naruto's mother, which he gives to Naruto to remember her by. They wander around the village afterwards, and Konohamaru helps Naruto carry all the Rinne Festival gifts he receives. Konoha Hiden, the perfect day for a wedding. Konohamaru attends Naruto and Hinata Hyuga's wedding. New Era. On the day that Naruto is to be inaugurated as the 7th Hokage, he's absent for the ceremony. This forced Konohamaru to stand in for him so that the inauguration could proceed as planned. For a period of time, Konohamaru served as an Anbu. At some point in the anime, Konohamaru became a teacher at the academy. Academy Entrance Arc. In the anime, on the day of the entrance ceremony at the academy, Konohamaru subdued Boruto Uzumaki after he damaged the Hokage rock, and reminded him from today to address him as sensei. Later, after having taught Shino Aburame's class about the summoning technique, he subdued Nue with his Rasengan after Boruto summoned it at the academy. Afterwards, Konohamaru wondered how Boruto was able to summon such a creature. Sarada Uchiha Arc. On the day of the 5 Kage summit, Boruto defaced the Hokage rock. After Naruto caught and stopped him, Konohamaru scolded Boruto for what he did, and also for trying to attack his own father with a shuriken. In the anime, wondering who was training in the forest, Konohamaru arrived in time to catch Sarada from collapsing. Asking him to teach her about the Sharingan, he informed her of the uniqueness of the dojutsu. Having learned she was aiming to become Hokage, Konohamaru told Sarada that would make them rivals. Graduation Exams Arc. In the anime, after Shino's class passed the written portion of the Genin Exams, Konohamaru participated as a proctor in the exam's 24-hour practical portion, alongside Shino, Anko Midarashi, and Kakashi Hatake, with the teachers wearing special markers on their chest that, if hit, would eliminate the wearer. As the test began, Konohamaru swiftly defeated all the students who attempted to eliminate him. While on lookout during the night, he noticed movement in the distance, and decided to investigate while aware it was likely a trap. Fending off the students' attacks with taijutsu, Sarada, while disguised as Boruto, faced him and caught him in genjutsu undetected, during which the group of students attempt to restrain him. Breaking free, Denki Kaminarimon managed to hit Konohamaru's target thanks to the genjutsu, resulting in him being eliminated. Afterwards, the eliminated proctors watched the students face Kakashi, and after looked on as he passed them all. After the Genin promotions, Konohamaru went to the academy, where he was placed in charge of Boruto, Sarada, and Mitsuki in Team 3. As Sarada was unhappy with being on a team with Boruto, Konohamaru informed the pair that Naruto would reconsider the team matchups if they hand in an appeal. Attempting to get to the Hokage, Mirai blocked the Genin's path, leading to Konohamaru asking his cousin to go easy on them. As the pair defeated Mirai, Konohamaru caught her before she fell into a ravine. Afterwards, Sarada and Boruto worked out their differences and approached Naruto to request their team's designation to be changed to Team 7, which he allowed. Genin Mission Arc. In the anime, for Team 7's first mission, they were assigned a D rank to aid the Green Banks village, who were being attacked by bandits for their crops. Upon arriving and meeting with Kiri, she informs the team that their attackers are actually Shinobi. Considering whether or not to continue the mission despite the deception, the village was attacked by the missing nin, leading to Konohamaru rushing to save Boruto from Ashimaru before he retreated. As Konohamaru realized there was more being hidden, he confronted Kiri and was informed the attackers were after the deed to the village's bridge. Later, the village was attacked, during which Kiri is abducted. Pursuing the attackers, Konohamaru traded the deed for Kiri. Setting their sights on killing Team 7, Konohamaru fought against Hidari and Ashimaru while the Genin fled with Kiri. Caught in Hidari's trap, Ashimaru departed to face the Genin, during which Konohamaru managed to free himself and frighten Hidari into submission. Having kept Kiri safe and completing the mission, the team returned to Konoha. Byakuya Gang Arc. In the anime, after his team dealt with a bank robber, Team 7 investigated Konoha Bank being robbed by the Byakuya Gang with Kotaro Fuma. Later, after the thieves spread lies and orchestrated a protest against the Kaminarimon Company, Team 7 was tasked with de-escalating the crowds. After it was discovered that Genjutsu was behind the village protest, removing it along with Naruto's speech quelled the protest. Vursus Momoshiki Arc. In the anime, Team 7 was later assigned to follow a trail of bandits who stole from the Thunder Train. When they arrived at the mines where the thieves were last seen, they learned that one of the thieves was arrested after he had come out completely traumatized, claiming that the White Ones killed his allies. This concerned Konohamaru, wondering if it could be a White Zetsu from the 4th Shinobi World War. Team 7 decided to investigate more carefully. Inside, they found the other 3 thieves brutally killed, and soon after met the culprit, a mutated White Zetsu. During a mission to capture a bear attacking a nearby village, Konohamaru used the newly invented Kote to subdue it. While demonstrating it afterwards, he accidentally destroys a farm, causing him to be lectured by Naruto once they return to the village. Konohamaru tries to enter his team in the upcoming Chūnin Exams. Although Sarada and Mitsuki are interested, Boruto is not. He has a change of heart after meeting Sasuke Uchiha and approaches Konohamaru to teach him the Rasengan, a prerequisite to train under Sasuke. Konohamaru enthusiastically agrees and immediately begins instructing him in how to use it. After days of hard training, he's ultimately successful in teaching Boruto. This later prompted Sasuke, who tested Boruto into learning the Rasengan, to accept Boruto's request to be his student. Sasuke got Konohamaru's agreement to let him take over in training Boruto, while also thanking Konohamaru for his good work in training Sarada in his absence. Later, Konohamaru watches his students' matches during the Chūnin Exams' final rounds a few weeks later. When the exams are attacked by Kinshiki and Momoshiki Ōtsutsuki, Konohamaru helped evacuate people from the arena. Chōchō Arc. In the anime, when the lead actors of a popular TV drama, Tomaru and Ashina, received a death threat if they continued filming their show, Team 7 was assigned to protect the actors alongside Team 10. Konohamaru and his team were assigned to watch Ashina, who, much to their chagrin, was a prima donna who basically made the team act as their personal servants. Later, during filming, a masked Ame-nin attacked the set. After the assailant escaped, Konohamaru and Moegi investigated events, determining either the assailant thoroughly researched the place from how seamlessly he got through security, or he had an inside informant. Later, a masked attacker managed to capture Tomaru and left a ransom demanding 20 million ryo, which Ashina was to deliver. Before the exchange, Konohamaru managed to find and capture the attacker. Still suspicious of the situation, Konohamaru feigned returning to the village, while instead disguising himself as the attacker to complete the transaction. Ultimately, he tricked Ashina to slip up and reveal herself as the mastermind behind the assaults, as she desperately wanted to rekindle her fame as an actress. After a failed suicide attempt on her part, Ashina accepted defeat and peacefully surrendered to be arrested. Mitsuki's Disappearance Arc. In the anime, when two Chūnin gate guards were attacked by unknown assailants, the village was put on lockdown. Konohamaru joined Naruto and his advisors when overseeing Ino probe one of the guards' minds for answers, learning that Mitsuki had left willingly with the attackers. When Naruto revealed to the others that Mitsuki was in fact Orochimaru's son, much outrage followed from learning that Naruto would permit an offspring of the man who killed the third Hokage live in Konohagakure, let alone keep it a secret. Naruto rationalized this on the grounds that Orochimaru's conduct had changed from before, and that he was aiding in the investigation of the Ōtsutsuki. Despite this, noting the unpredictable nature of Orochimaru, the meeting ended with deeming the Oto-born boy as a threat. Later, Konohamaru decided to confront Naruto with how he hid from Konohamaru the truth that Mitsuki is the son of the man who killed his grandfather. Naruto insisted that he wanted Konohamaru to get to know Mitsuki before learning the truth, on the grounds that Mitsuki himself had no part in the murder of the third Hokage. This left Konohamaru conflicted, as he indeed came to care very much for Mitsuki as his student. Regardless, he insisted on joining the effort to track down and retrieve Mitsuki. His request, however, was denied, as he was too emotional on the matter. Still conflicted on how to deal with Mitsuki, Mirai approached him, having learned the truth about Mitsuki and felt a similar nature about the loss of their grandfather. Later, when it was learned that extreme punishment may come Mitsuki's way for his desertion, Konohamaru insisted that he be the one to bring Mitsuki back. While there was some concern about Konohamaru being given this job, Naruto agreed. In addition, because they had no approval from the Tsuchikage to enter Iwagakure, Konohamaru was required to remain unseen and hide all ties from Konohagakure, donning his old Anbu outfit before setting out. Along the way, he found multiple Konoha nin completely immobilized. Upon arriving in Iwagakure, he found Akatsuki being attacked by the Akuta and saved him. As Konohamaru ventured deeper into the village, he found that a certain area was heavily guarded by the Akuta, concluding that the enemy base must be near. His efforts eventually found a secret underground laboratory. Shocked at the work that was being conducted, he was then approached by Mitsuki. While considering to attack his student, Konohamaru instead unmasked himself and confronted Mitsuki on his actions. The boy plainly said he was doing what he believed was right to do and promised to answer for his actions. Trusting in Mitsuki, Konohamaru decided to watch as he sabotaged the base with explosives. Afterwards, Konohamaru freed the 4th Tsuchikage, letting her go and save her village. Ultimately, the fabrications were defeated by the combined effort of Konohamaru's students and Onoki, who passed away from the effort. As the Hokage and an escort arrived to help, Konohamaru promised to give a full report on the events. He confronted Mitsuki, surprising the boy when he hugged him and said he was happy to have Mitsuki back. Upon returning to Konohagakure, Konohamaru and Sai debriefed Mitsuki on his actions. Ultimately accepting Mitsuki's actions as not treacherous and beneficial to Iwagakure, it was decided to pardon him, but with the punish of revoking his shinobi status. Konohamaru requested to take responsibility for their actions to reinstate his team's individual shinobi status. While reluctant to do so, Kurotsuchi's gratitude persuaded Naruto to reinstate Konohamaru's students, much to his joy. Jūgo Arc. In the anime sometime later, Konohamaru led Team 7 and Team 15, Hanabi having had another assignment. They were assigned to investigate the random attacks on a village from nearby wildlife. Tosaka, an ornithologist, was appointed to lend assistance with the birds. Upon arriving, the group was attacked by strange-looking birds. At the village, they learned that many people attacked by the mutated birds quickly became sick and were covered in cursed seals. When learning of Jūgo being in the area, Konohamaru speculated that Orochimaru was involved in this. He split the teams up to investigate, pairing himself with Mitsuki and warning everyone not to engage him alone. Konohamaru and Mitsuki arrived just in time to defend Boruto from Jūgo's attack. He was able to keep Jūgo at bay until he absorbed much of Konohamaru's chakra. Konohamaru made use of their close proximity and landed a Rasengan on him, snapping Jūgo out of his bloodlust. Jūgo walked away and the Genin gave chase. Tosaka and Team 15 helped Konohamaru follow them and found Jūgo passed out with an injection device by his hand. Jūgo woke up and protected them from a bird attack, curing it from its cursed seal before leaving. Back at the village, Konohamaru estimated he'd need 4 or 5 days of rest. Wasabi voiced her concern about Konohamaru contracting the same cursed seal through his injuries, but Tosaka explained that he analyzed it and concluded Jūgo's cursed seal and the birds are different. Konohamaru asked Mitsuki about the device they found, and he confirmed it was from Orochimaru's research, further speculating that it was a cursed seal suppression drug. Unable to get back in the field, he tasked Team 15 to go back to Konoha to report and request backup, and Team 7 and Tosaka with monitoring Jūgo and looking out for more of the tranquilizer drug. Later, Konohamaru was saved by Mitsuki, who removed him in time to avoid an assassination attempt by the Land of Rivers research team. After recovering somewhat, Konohamaru decided that he and Mitsuki would go to the enemy's boat near the river to find something to stop the cursed seal infection. They found a serum that removes the cursed seal and made their way to the lake, finding Suigetsu along the way. At the lake, they gave the serum to Suigetsu, who ingested it and merged with the lake, using the water to rain the serum over the birds, curing them. Konohamaru intended to take Tosaka back to Konoha and have him confess in his role in the outbreak, only to be informed Karin and Suigetsu had taken him with them when they left. Konohamaru's Love Arc. In the anime, while Konohamaru was talking with Boruto in the village about prioritizing their time as ninja, he saw a woman running away from several men. Konohamaru quickly intervened and carried her away from the pursuers. Afterwards, she introduced herself as Remon Yoimura, and explained that she was sightseeing the village when she randomly bumped into those men. On Boruto's idea, they decided to show Remon the sights, including the Hokage rock and why it was so important to Konohamaru. During the tour, Konohamaru and Remon began developing an attraction for each other. Later, it was revealed that Remon was a noblewoman who was dodging her bodyguards and had the responsibility to return. The following day, after Sarada and Chōchō pointed out Konohamaru's growing feelings, Boruto suggested that he and his sensei return Remon's borrowed handkerchief as an excuse to see her again. Upon arriving at her mansion, they were surprised to see Remon preparing for a ceremony. Even more, they were shocked to see how uncharacteristically cold she was to them, suddenly demanding to never see them again. They were approached by Kankitsu Akitsuki, Remon's fiancé. He apologized for Remon's rudeness, but firmly asked for the Konoha nin to leave. On the way back to Konohagakure, they found a little girl from Remon's village who, despite being close to it, forgot how to get home. The two brought her back to the village and noticed how awkward the villagers were acting about the memory loss. Feeling that something was wrong, Konohamaru and Boruto later snuck back into Remon's house to talk to her. She revealed that the village was plagued by an evil spirit called Soma that steals memories. She explained that her ancestor Kuen sealed away the beast, but not before being cursed by it, which it passed on from generation to generation. The seal grows weaker every 100 years, and a special marriage ritual is required by blood descendants of Kuen to restore the seal. This time it must be Remon and Kankitsu. Accepting that this was Remon's choice, Konohamaru took Boruto back to the village. Before they could leave, they were met with Remon's caretaker, Asaki. She revealed that Kankitsu has quite recently become cold compared to before, and regularly wanders off late at night. She asks them to investigate. Konohamaru accepted and ultimately found nothing unusual. When waiting for Asaki to show up for the report, to no avail, Konohamaru sent to Boruto to look for her while he continued to investigate Kankitsu. When following him to the sacred shrine housing Soma, Konohamaru was discovered by the security. He was forced to leave the village, and a complaint was filed against him, prompting the Hokage to place him under house arrest. Konohamaru began digging through various scrolls for important information. Later, he was approached by Boruto, who revealed that it was Kankitsu who was stealing people's memories. Despite the house arrest, Konohamaru joined Boruto in settling the matter. Upon returning to the village, they arrived too late, as Kankitsu, who was actually possessed by Soma, destroyed the seal to free the demon. Konohamaru managed to temporarily trap Soma while Remon and Kankitsu were saved. After Kankitsu awoke, horrified at what he did, Remon explained that she should use the same seal Kuen used long ago, but would cost Remon her memories just as it did Kuen. As the Konoha nin lured out Soma, Remon used her seal. Reluctantly, Konohamaru severed the emerging horns from Remon, completing the seal to permanently defeat Soma. Later, when Remon awoke, she indeed forgot her entire identity. Konohamaru decided to leave Remon in Kankitsu's care, deciding he would be a hindrance to any chance of her recovering her memories. While Boruto insisted that he should tell Remon how he feels about her, he insisted that some things in life don't need to be said with actual words. Time Slip Arc. In the anime, when Boruto learned that he was the only genin that was put off the mission to hunt Urashiki due to Urashiki's previous vendetta against him, he was furious. Konohamaru accompanied Boruto to make sure he wouldn't act out too much when talking to the Hokage about this. Meanwhile, the grown-up Sasuke and Boruto were sent back in time to shortly after Sasuke's defection. There, the two pretended to be traveling performers and were put under watch by Naruto. Past Konohamaru met up with Naruto to compare their improvements to their respective sexy techniques. Boruto, amazed at how silly his future sensei was, openly voiced it, annoying Konohamaru. Konohamaru asked Boruto to show his sexy technique before Sakura came and punched Naruto for it. Konohamaru insulted her, and before she could react, he ran away. Days later, Konohamaru and his genin teammates watched from the bushes as Boruto, Jiraiya, and Naruto fight Urashiki, amazed when Naruto managed to knock the foe out with Super Sengan. When the foe, however, transformed into a monstrously powerful being, Konohamaru and his friends decided to go for help. When the higher-ups didn't listen, they found several of Naruto's friends, who quickly agreed to help. By the time they arrived, however, Urashiki was already defeated by Naruto and the others. They helped bring the injured to the hospital. Days later, after Sasuke and Boruto recovered and prepared to return to their time, Sasuke first used his Sharingan to erase the memories of everyone he and Boruto came in contact with of the recent events, in order to protect the timeline. After Sasuke and Boruto returned to their proper time, they were met with adult Konohamaru, to whom they happily reported that Urashiki was defeated. Mujina Bandits Arc. Konohamaru provides his team with instructions through the earphones during their mission to capture Mujina Bandits. Although Boruto eventually ruins the plan of tracking them to their boss, Konohamaru still considers the mission a success after arriving at the scene. Later, Konohamaru presented his entire team with their first B-rank mission. While confident they were ready, Konohamaru warned them that their status as ninja would fall if they failed their first high-level mission, and as punishment would have to thoroughly clean up his dirty office. On the day of the mission, Konohamaru was shocked to see his entire team was a no-show. He later learned that they had instead worked together to save the daimyo's son, who was kidnapped by the Mujina Bandits. While applauding his students for simultaneously saving Tento and capturing the Mujina Bandits, he insisted that they would have to be punished for abandoning their official mission. Kara Actuation Arc. In the anime, as Konohamaru's team was assigned to find Anato, a missing researcher in the Land of Valleys, Konohamaru was overjoyed to see that they'd be working alongside Mugino. After meeting the man's wife and learning about the village's large medical company, Mitsuki was able to find out the last known location of Anato's team. There, they were intercepted by Victor, the company's president, and his guards. As he was also looking for Anato's team and found that many of them were dead, they decided to join efforts. They soon found a cave. Inside, they found Anato, whose body was altered into a malleable state and mindlessly attacked them. After the team failed to restrain Anato, Victor and his crew then appeared and subdued him with a relentless barrage of lightning release. Victor promised they would return Anato to the village for treatment. With their mission technically completed, Konohamaru reluctantly decided the team would return to Konohagakure. Along the way, Mitsuki became ill and his body was taking on the same properties as Anato. Mugino brought them to Yubina, a former medical nin. After she treated Mitsuki, Yubina determined that during the fight with Anato, Mitsuki was infected by some of the first Hokage's cellular structure. It was decided that while Mitsuki would stay behind to recover, the rest would go to the source in the Land of Silence. There they learned that a worker from Victor's company came by weeks ago with the Hashirama cell before suddenly disappearing. They also heard rumors that a man was in the area with connections to the Hashirama cell. It turned out to be a missing nin named Kirisaki with unique medical ninjutsu prowess. After Boruto lured him away, they were able to detain him. They learned that he was expecting to meet someone about the Hashirama cell the following day. They decided that Konohamaru would impersonate Kirisaki, joined by Boruto posing as an assistant. Once meeting the contact, the man was revealed to be infected by the Hashirama cell as a test to see Kirisaki's skill. After the man collapsed, Konohamaru reluctantly injected the antibodies Yubina acquired from Mitsuki to heal the man. Fooled, the man revealed to be a butler of Lady Sakuya. She desired to use the Hashirama cell on herself under the misguided delusion that it would let her live forever, and even more, restore her youth and former beauty. At the castle, Boruto was suddenly detained, where the butler wished to see the process firsthand of how Kirisaki would stabilize the Hashirama cell using Boruto. Konohamaru was able to stall while Boruto slipped away to retrieve the target, as it was a shadow clone that was detained. Soon after, an alarm was sounded that Sakuya was attacked. Konohamaru dropped his disguise and found Boruto, who explained that other shinobi killed Sakuya and stole the Hashirama cell, framing them for the act. Everyone in the city began hunting them down in hopes of getting a reward for their capture. As the entire team was cornered, they were aided by a young boy named Katara. He led them through an underground network that the children of the city used for their own society. At the base, the Konoha nin met with Mitsuki. Once outside the country's borders, Mugino and Konohamaru split up from the Genin to find their targets. However, they were alerted to an attack on the Genin and returned. The attackers were revealed to be Omoi and his team, sent by the 5th Raikage to retrieve the Hashirama cell for Konohagakure. After Omoi recognized Konohamaru, the situation was explained and the group worked together to hunt down the true thieves, who were deduced to be shinobi from the land of Haze. Along the way, they were intercepted by Deepa, who was also looking for the Hashirama cell. Omoi's team decided to face the new threat while the Konoha nin moved on. Upon catching up with the remaining foes, the Konoha nin were tricked and caught by Hyuga's self-sacrificing technique that produced a restraining sludge. As it became clear that the technique would drag all near him underground, Omoi arrived. Battered, he revealed that Deepa killed his allies and was on his way to the land of Haze to get the Hashirama cell. Worrying for his remaining brother, Hyuga cancelled his technique and rushed off. While Omoi could not join his allies, he warned them that Deepa was seemingly impervious to all forms of attack. After catching up to Hyuga's older brother, Asuka, it took some convincing that Hyuga was truly him and that there was a new threat. Before a truce could be agreed upon, Deepa arrived and swiftly struck down the remaining quadruplets. Boruto was furious and attacked the man, only for his kunai to harmlessly bounce off Deepa's body. The man explained that he's able to manipulate all the carbon around him, including in his own body, to become invulnerable. Victor arrived and revealed to be allied with Deepa. Victor split up the jōnin from the genin in the team, where Konohamaru and Mugino faced Victor. Victor proved deceptively capable, manifesting a separate set of powerful arms that proved able to battle back the Konoha nin. Soon, Victor noticed that Deepa's battle was causing an unusual amount of damage to the area and decided to investigate, sparing Konohamaru and Mugino. Days later, Konohamaru and Mugino arrived at Victor's company. They exchanged pleasantries with Victor, but tensions arose when the conversation turned to the Hashirama cell. Victor pointed out that they couldn't force the issue without escalating things into a diplomatic incident and had them escorted out. Later, Konohamaru and Mugino infiltrated the company to continue their investigation. While trying to sneak in further, the Konoha nin were cut off by a security system that blocked their entrance into the secret lab. As they continued looking for an opening, they witnessed Deepa's arrival, whose recent mission was a failure. Victor noted that he would soon have to attend an inspection of his company with the Land of Valley's daimyo, and that his experiment was nearing the final stage. Mugino and Konohamaru were concerned by this. They decided to take advantage of the inspection for their next move. Before the daimyo and his retinue arrived at Victor's company, Konohamaru and Mugino knocked out 2 of his guards and transformed into them. Victor presented the daimyo with several people safely in stasis as they were being treated for various incurable illnesses. Having already seen through the truth, Konohamaru and Mugino released the daimyo from the genjutsu Victor had administered through the sterilizing. The people in stasis were in fact being used as nourishment for Victor's true project. Konohamaru and Mugino revealed themselves and explained the situation. While the daimyo was ashamed of his blindness to Victor's deceit, he agreed to let the Konoha nin act as needed. Victor, however, activated his experiment, revealing a miniature god tree that began consuming all targets. Konohamaru and Mugino worked to protect themselves and the daimyo. As the tree continued to grow and rampage, the daimyo was briefly ensnared with most of his chakra drained. Konohamaru held off the tree long enough for Mugino to get the daimyo away, as he was the only credible witness to Victor's crimes. Konohamaru was determined to stop the threat of the god tree and stayed behind. There, he was by chance met up with Boruto and Sarada, having completed their own mission recently. While not liking the idea of endangering his students, he conceded to needing help. They were then approached by Victor, who revealed to have cultivated his god tree from fragments of the original god tree during the Fourth Great Shinobi World War, using the Hashirama cells for this. As Victor reveled in the production of the chakra fruit, he ruptured the ground around Boruto and Sarada, sending them down below to split them from Konohamaru. Konohamaru was soon overwhelmed, only to be saved by the sudden arrival of Orochimaru. The Sannin insisted he cared little about Konohamaru and simply wanted to make Victor pay for stealing the Hashirama cell from his laboratory. As Orochimaru continued to make sport of Victor, the inner sought the god tree's fruit for more power, only to be ensnared by the tree like the other victims. Orochimaru noticed that Victor's god tree was a crude imitation, unable to produce such fruit. Ultimately, the god tree was destroyed, and with the enemies defeated, Orochimaru decided to leave it at that. Konohamaru noted to Orochimaru that he was happy to see Mitsuki was okay. Orochimaru trusted Konohamaru to take care of Mitsuki from there. Upon returning to the village, Konohamaru and Mugino reported to Naruto. They revealed what they learned about Victor and his involvement with Kara. He and Konohamaru also noted the existence of Elders, who apparently worked as spies for Kara. In light of this news, and what was discovered after investigating Victor's company, the question of whether or not to close the gates to the village came up. Ao Arc. In the anime, Konohamaru attended the memorial service for the fallen people of the Fourth Shinobi World War. Later, upon a blimp slipping through the Land of Fire's air defense network undetected and crashing, Konohamaru and Mugino are sent on a mission to investigate it. Upon arriving at the blimp on the Land of Fire's border, he discovers that inside contains a container that was recently opened. While unsure as to what was inside, he has a dreadful feeling about it. While inspecting the container, he found a data unit. After downloading its information, he found Mugino badly injured, looking up to find the assailant, which turned out to be a group of advanced self-moving puppets. Konohamaru managed to escape with Mugino, as the puppets seemed programmed to only protect the blimp. Later, when tending to Mugino's injuries while in a cave, Konohamaru was found by his students and Katasuke Tono. While discussing what happened, they were confronted by Ao, who held them at gunpoint to question them about what they learned inside the blimp. Ao then unleashed a barrage of fire-release bullets from his gun, making everyone realize he has a scientific ninja tool. Konohamaru, with help with Katasuke, was able to destroy Ao's gun. As Konohamaru asked if this had anything to do with the organization Kara, Ao unleashed a hidden weapon from his prosthetic shoulder, blasting Konohamaru. He then attacked Katasuke and stole one of his technique-absorbing gauntlets. After testing it himself on Boruto's Rasengan, Ao concluded that they now had to die to keep the organization a secret. Mugino then held Ao long enough to collapse the cave on him and Ao to save his allies. His sacrifice, however, turned futile as Ao quickly clawed his way out of the rubble, prompting Konohamaru and his team to retreat. As they took shelter, Katasuke admitted to his shame that the enemy's access to advanced ninja tech was because they brainwashed him into giving up his research. As Konohamaru insisted that they had to return the data he found at the blimp to Konohagakure, Boruto instead insisted that they had to stop before he continued to abuse the technology that Katasuke gave him. The team then devised a plan to take advantage of Ao's high usage of ninja tech. To begin their counterattack, Mitsuki, Sarada, and Konohamaru pressured Ao with a barrage of ninjutsu attacks, all of which were quickly absorbed by the gauntlet. Boruto then attacked from Ao's blind side during the assault with his chakra blade, but the seasoned enemy saw through the attack, quickly blocking it with his prosthetic arm, forcing Boruto to drop his weapon. Ao then grabbed the tech weapon and stabbed Boruto in the chest. Boruto, however, was revealed to be a shadow clone, and he began the next part of the team's plan. Boruto revealed to be wearing another absorbing gauntlet, using it to cancel the two gauntlets' absorbing power long enough to hit Ao with the Rasengan. As the team surrounded the seemingly defeated foe, Konohamaru noticed a sneak attack from a bunch of mirror drones. He blocked the attack on Boruto with his own body, knocking him out. Boruto, however, was able to outsmart Ao and defeat him. Once Konohamaru came to, he was impressed by his student's growth. The moment was ruined when Koji Kashin appeared and killed Ao with his boiler toad. After introducing himself, Konohamaru questioned him about Kara. Refusing to answer, Koji erected pillars around the team to paralyze them. Prepared for such a situation, Konohamaru used the seal on his chest to free him from the Fuinjutsu. Facing Koji alone, Konohamaru attacked him with Taijutsu, swiftly followed by attacking him with his Rasengan, leading to Koji creating his own Rasengan to counter Konohamaru's. Questioning who in the world his opponent is, Konohamaru noticed a toad on his hip, which explodes in flames that engulf him. Yelling out, Boruto subconsciously activates his Kama, which absorbs all the flames. Having collapsed, Konohamaru questioned what the mark on Boruto was, followed by Koji choosing to retreat. Kawaki Arc. Departing the scene with Katasuke, they encountered destroyed puppets a fair distance away from the crashed blimp, followed by finding an unconscious boy. As they begin to examine the boy, Kawaki, for injuries, they discovered that he had a matching seal to Boruto's on his left palm. As Boruto's seal began to hurt, Kawaki also felt the pain, making him abruptly wake up and destroy the area within his vicinity. Questioning who the team were, Konohamaru identified himself and asked for information regarding the crash. Refusing to provide information and wanting to be left alone, Boruto revealed to the boy his mark, resulting in Kawaki believing they were pursuers from Kara. As they tried to correct him, Garo made his presence known, announcing his intentions of recovering Kawaki. Kawaki resisted, showing the ability to manipulate his body structure into weapons. As he watched the fight between Kawaki and Garo, Konohamaru stressed to his team that the new developments would increase their mission to S rank, urging them to act cautiously. When Kawaki killed Garo with a blast, Konohamaru was protected from it by Boruto, who activated his Kama, using it to absorb part of the explosion. This convinced Kawaki even more that they were with Kara. After Kawaki fainted from overheating, and Katasuke determined his body to have been modified into a scientific ninja tool, they decided to take him to meet with the 7th Hokage. After returning to the village, Konohamaru gave his report of the mission and watched over Kawaki until he awoke, leaving Naruto to take over. In the anime, Konohamaru decided to attend to cleaning up Mugino's home, surprised to see how little he kept there. He was also surprised to see Boruto there, who promised Mugino to take care of his pet turtle in the man's absence. As the two reminisced about Mugino and how he affected them, it was agreed to let Konohamaru to keep Mugino's only two real possessions, his turtle and a framed photo of the 3rd Hokage with a handwritten acceptance letter from the late Hokage to Mugino. Later, Jigen, the leader of Kara, infiltrated the village to retrieve Kawaki. Konohamaru joined the Hokage to engage the threat, but was quickly disabled by Jigen's rods. Ultimately, Jigen's attempt to retrieve Kawaki failed, but left Naruto captured by Kara and Sasuke critically injured. After Konohamaru recovered from his own injuries, he was put on guard duty of Kawaki. Later, Konohamaru and Sai were assigned a mission to investigate Boro's cult in an attempt to learn Kara's Ten Tails' new whereabouts. Claiming to want to join the cult, the two learned that some cultists would sometimes disappear. Tricking one of the cultists into trying to contact Boro, they uncovered evidence that the missing cultists had died in Kara's vessel experiments. Despite exposing Boro's role in the plagues that caused many of the cultists to join in and the death of the missing cultists, many remained loyal to him. Delta arrived to destroy the facility, which shocked him and Sai, who knew she'd been destroyed by Naruto. They reported back to him in Konoha. Konohamaru participated in the coordination efforts led by Shikamaru when Ishiki's arrival was imminent. He visited Mugino's grave before Ishiki's arrival and was among the first to engage him in combat. He was quickly defeated and narrowly saved by Naruto's arrival, who ordered him to continue helping with the civilian evacuation. Chūnin Re-Examination Arc. In the anime, following Ishiki's defeat, Naruto had a Chūnin exam set up for Konoha to help boost morale from the recent attack. Konohamaru aided Shikamaru in reorganizing the event and acted as a proctor during the finals, drawing names for the matches and acting as their referee. When Sarada expressed concern over Boruto and Mitsuki's absence, he clarified that they wouldn't be disqualified unless they were still absent by the time their names were drawn. Despite this, Konohamaru eventually drew Boruto and Mitsuki's names to face each other. Unable to give exceptions, Konohamaru disqualified them as they were both still absent for their match. After the exams were finished, he congratulated the winners at the closing ceremony and then chased after Boruto and Mitsuki for arriving late. Days later, Konohamaru and Mirai were assigned to a mission to escort a newlywed couple to a new village. However, the village had been secretly taken over and held hostage by Hyōgo. The two allowed themselves to be captured to investigate. After Mirai managed to escape and notify the village, Konohamaru was tortured for information but revealed nothing and stalled for time waiting for the fog to roll in. Hyōgo decided to torture the newlyweds instead to make him talk, but his students arrived and, understanding the likely reason why Konohamaru stayed behind, freed the hostages. They defeated Hyōgo in a final mission as teacher and students. They returned to the village in time for the official Chūnin appointment ceremony and took one last team photo, as Sarada's promotion made it unnecessary for him to remain as a jōnin captain. Later, Konohamaru informed Naruto and Shikamaru of a recently discovered corpse. They wondered about a connection with 5 other similar incidents in other countries. He later updated them that all the victims were from the land of calm seas, leading Naruto to dispatch Team 7 as reinforcements for Team 10, who were escorting a client from the same country as they were on a mission in a nearby area. Great Sea Battle of Kirigakure Arc. In the anime, Konohamaru subbed for Naruto during filming a guest appearance for the next movie of the Kagemasa franchise, which would feature the Rasengan in the climax. Konohamaru was underwhelmed by the excessive use of CG in the production and was able to convince most of the crew to shoot on location with the help of the assistant director. However, the producer fired most of the crew over it. The assistant director wanted to continue filming with his own money but was held hostage by criminals at the bank. Konohamaru helped save him with Gongoro's help, Kagemasa's actor, and ended up using a Rasengan to deal with an explosive tag. The rest of the crew recorded everything, and the footage greatly pleased the movie sponsors, which prompted the producer to hire everyone back. The movie ended up being a success. Kawaki and Himawari Academy Arc. In the anime, Konohamaru attended the entrance ceremony for a class of new students in the academy. Code Arc. Following Ishiki's defeat, Team 7 was put on suspension to better watch Boruto for any episode from his coma. At the same time, Kawaki joined Team 7 in their training. Konohamaru was amazed at the boys' continued lack of teamwork. When Kawaki found basic shinobi drills pointless, he pushed for more extreme combat training. Konohamaru opted to step in, but Naruto convinced him to let things play out. Boruto and Kawaki made a bet with each other on who would dictate their training style, with Boruto ultimately winning in a sparring match. Konohamaru was impressed to see how grown-up Boruto sounded when he reasoned with Kawaki to accept help from his friends. Later, Konohamaru was present alongside Sumire when Shikamaru explained Team 7's first mission in a while, updating them on what happened with Amato, Code, and Ida, and how they would have her under surveillance while living with her. Konohamaru explained that while Boruto and Kawaki would have to live with Ida, as they're immune to her ability, Boruto would act as mediator between her and Kawaki, while Konohamaru, Mitsuki, and Sarada would watch from afar, including if Boruto is still acting as himself instead of as Momoshiki. Later, as a luxurious house was being prepared for Ida's arrival, Konohamaru revealed that it was previously owned, but the higher-ups were able to convince them to relinquish it. Soon after, Ida arrived. Upon seeing her, Konohamaru instantly fell to her allure power. As she turned her full attention to him, the love-struck Konohamaru fainted. Did you enjoy our video? Be sure to check out these other great videos from the Amagi, and make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.